Hey, it's Nuju Hordika, a set that deserves a lot more love than it gets. In today's video, let's discuss why I love this set so much, and why I love the pieces that come with it. You see, you can use these parts in some really creative ways when you build a mock, so let's check out what you can do with them. And then we'll finish off with a sick revamp of this set that drastically improves the design. Here we go. You know, I like the Hordika, and I really like Nuju. With his sick ice blades, his cool looking mask that still has that nice scope eye. He can also pose with ease. There's a lot to love. Now, look, he does have this asymmetrical arm design, and this is because in the Bionicle story, the Toa Metru are all injected with Hordika venom, and they begin to transform into these more horrific bestial creatures. Which is cool, and it justifies this arm design, but I always felt that this arm sticks out at just a kind of awkward angle. I feel like it would look a little better if it didn't stick out so much. You know, if it rested by his side a little bit more like the other arm does, maybe it would look a little bit less strange. But hey, maybe it looks strange because that's kind of the point, right? They are meant to look mutated. Maybe it's not so bad. But it still poses with a lot of ease. Oh, but I do love this other arm. The gear function here is just brilliant. It's so much fun to play with. I feel like this is a very, very underrated arm design. And the Toa Hordika themselves, they're kind of forgotten about. But the way it's built is baller. And the choice to turn our beloved heroes into mutated bestial forms? That was a brave and very exciting choice. LEGO really pushed the limits of what Bionicle could be, and I'm here for it. Oh, and I can't forget to talk about the sensational Hordika spinner. Pulling that ripcord and letting the disc fly is the best feeling. It does look a little strange leaving the cord through his chest like this, but thankfully you're able to store it on his back. And I had no idea you could do this until like a month ago. I don't know, they just never advertised the fact you could do that in the instructions. I had no idea, this blew my mind. So yeah, Nuju Hordika is sick. And so are the pieces that come in this set. Let's see what we get and how we could use it to build some mocks. The ripcord that's included in this set, it's an interesting piece, but you know, at first glance, it feels kinda useless. Surely you can really only use this for the Hordika spinner feature, and that's kinda it, right? You'd be wrong. Mitch Henry uses these pieces for a sick spider-like leg design. The thin but also spiky look of these pieces, it's perfect for a robotic spider creature like this. Really nice part use here, Mitch. This looks fantastic. Now, while we're talking about the Hordika spinner elements, this is the dark bluish grey piece that you load the spinner into and pull the ripcord out of. There's also a yellow piece that's included that you need to complete the mechanism, but still, this part right here, how could you use this on a mock? Well, Huskworld has reimagined the Paraka character Avac. And take a look at this shoulder design right here. See how they've used 4 of these pieces to create a nice looking grid of parts. In this context, I suppose it's some type of shoulder armor. I think that's really cool. And hey, there's one more of this piece right there on the upper arm as well. So yeah, use this piece to craft some interesting looking armor, or just use it to fill in some gaps on the limbs. You know, this is another one of those pieces that feels like it's only gonna have one purpose. Use it for the spinner, and that's it. But if you think outside the box a little bit, you'll realize it's a super helpful piece that can be used for all kinds of things. Nuju Hordika's mask is really nice. And a mock that uses it is this one. It's called Nuji, and it was built by a builder called Buck. See this shoulder design right here? The way that it kind of flares backwards in a very dynamic way? I feel like the mask kind of has that same energy to it. It's surprisingly angular. It also kind of flares backwards. The shoulders and the mask, putting them together, it makes this mock feel quick, nimble, and fast. It's a brilliant look. It's nice to see the fact that the body and the art style of the character really brings out unique qualities of the mask itself. Great way to use this piece. Nuju's silver foot piece is a nice and very helpful part. Maybe you could use it like Trickmox has done here on a mock that they call the Winter Soldier. We've got 2 down here on the feet. Sure, they're intended to be used as feet, but why not use them as armor on the lower legs like we also see here? So yeah, you could use them for feet, you could use them for lower leg armor. They'd probably look good for upper arm armor as well, or even armor on the torso. These are super helpful pieces with a ton of uses. It creates a good little armored look. Nuju's posable arm uses this piece down the bottom. Eclipse Caller places this piece onto the lower arm design of this creation. Now in this context, it gives off a great bony and skeletal look. You know, the thin shape of this piece, the ribbed texture down the bottom there, it's kind of the perfect piece to use for a skeleton character. So if you're planning on building something spooky like this, it seems that this piece is a must-have. The final piece we're going to talk about today is, of course, Nuju Hordika's weapons. Why not do what Dylan Meaves has done here and simply link these two parts together to create a longer and more impressive looking weapon? I love how the trans blue section kind of forms a U shape. There's just something so pretty about that. Look, yeah, this is a pretty simple way of using these pieces, but simple can still look really pretty. So that's some ways that you could use a few of the pieces that come in this set. Now, let's see how you could revamp and reimagine Nuju Hordika. Genko Builds has taken this set and turned it up to 11. I mean, look at this face design. Taking the mask that comes on the best Hero Factory set ever, Witch Doctor, and adding a few more pieces onto it. You know, you've got that 1x2 grill tile around the front of the mouth. The mask already had a pretty skeletal aesthetic to it, but this brings that out even more. Then you slap a scope onto the eye to tie it back to the original set and keep that aesthetic going. Mate, this is great. You got the essence of the original set going on, but you hone in a lot more on the mutation aspect of the character. The mask captures that perfectly. And hey, the rest of the body design also captures that in a great way. You know, like check out these legs for example. The lower leg design uses Kopaka Nuva's blade pieces. Of course, they came on this set right here. But not using them as blades and instead using them for leg armor? Crazy. And then transitioning that up into these claw pieces, the same ones that came on Motoro Mari, this set right here. Yet turning these pieces into a funky digitigrade leg design. Wow. And to top it off, you have wires running through all of these pieces. This design is sensational. Some really innovative part use going on here, as well as some incredibly original and fun designs. And to top it all off, it pairs well with the backstory for this character. Ah, that's amazing. They also gave Nuju an interesting ice chainsaw weapon that's made up of a lot of trans-clear Lego pieces. Lego system pieces specifically, I guess all of this is Lego, you know what I mean. But hey, look, you know, the original weapons on the set, I do quite like them. But an ice chainsaw? Come on now. And this one brown robotic arm as well. That little extra hint of brown, I think it really rounds off the color scheme here. It's sick. And then flipping the mock around, we can see some of these pump pieces on the back. You know, these are the same pumps that came on the Toa Mystica, and they're used on their Naira Ghost Blasters. Integrating these pieces into the chest, as well as kind of on this backpack, that's fun. It fits the aesthetic very, very well, and dude, it makes for an incredible looking mock. The perfect upgrade for a perfect set. Man, I tell you what, Nuju Hordika is an underrated masterpiece. There's a lot to love about this set. And there's a lot to love about the mocks that I showcased today. If you liked them, head over to the links in the description below and give those builders a like and a follow. You'll find links to their social media right there. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, happy building, and bye for now.